Okay, this is an old Rose of Sharon that I dig out from one of my friend's house. He didn't wanted it, so just last night. This tree is I think, I estimate about 10 years old, and it was about 6 to 8 feet tall. So I chopped all the tall branches, dug it up, and try to see if I can make it into a future bonsai. The root ball was big. It took us about an hour to dig it out. But I have to say, most of the roots were lateral roots. There were no deep tab roots. They were very shallow lateral roots, very thick. First step is to wash all the soil around the root ball, and just to see what else I need to do with the roots, and pot it first. Just to make sure the roots doesn't dry out. Just pot it first, and then we can worry about the top and see how to style it for future. Okay, this is the result of the first pressure wash. I can see more of the root now. It's pretty big and thick. I think I can further reduce. Just cut it shallow. I mean, first I didn't want to cut too much because I was so worried that there's no roots on the top. But I see that near the root here, near the top here, there's some roots, so I can keep those. So then I can feel more freely to cut whatever's underneath. So I'm gonna use a saw. A lot of intertwined root, and I've been doing a lot of cutting. Sometimes with this, sometimes with a saw. We really don't need these roots. They're just basically for anchoring and storage. But we want to keep the fine roots. Those are the ones that are gonna absorb the water and the nutrients for the plant. So if I want to make it to a bonsai, these roots are useless, and they just just add weight to the root mass. So you just want to clean those up. So I'm going to do some more rinsing just to clarify. So these are the roots that I want to keep. These are, the looks like fresh roots. They're kind of smaller, and some here, but not these. Okay, you might think, oh, these are the fine roots, but they're not. These are actually, if they're kind of dark and dry, these are the dead roots. So feel free to remove these. Just want to finish off with a smaller tool now, this root pruner, and just make sure that every cut is a good cut. It's a nice and clean cut. This will make sure that they will heal faster, and also no microbes or bacteria will infect the wounds. After that, I'm going to just apply some wound sealant. Let it dry a little bit, and then ready to pot it. Just pat it dry. Now some might say, wow, this is a big drastic pruning. What are the chances for this plant to survive? I would say at least 50%. Plants are pretty resilient. I mean, they have pretty strong survival will. So if you give them a chance, they will recover. Okay, I cover all the wounds with the sealant just to protect it. Just gonna give it a few minutes to dry. Meanwhile, I show you, this is the pot. This is the 5-gallon plastic. So previously I added some, you saw that I added some rooting hormone. This is all to help it grow more roots. Now I'm adding the soil. to this pot. The soil is a mixture of a good garden soil with some perlite, with some sand, and sphagnum moss. The idea is to have a really nice and loose soil mixture, all to help the root grow better. Not too tight, not too compact. Okay, almost done with the potting side. I did see that it has a very nice trunk. Now this is why we spend all this time, all the trouble trying to salvage, you know, discarded garden material, because they have good potential. They have a lot of growth in them, and you know, if I have grown this myself, it would have taken me, you know, 10 years or more, you know. What you see me do here is actually I'm creating little openings, cutting little piece of bark off, because I'm seeing that this is something's lacking here. There's no nebari, there's no root coming out. So I might as well take this opportunity to you know, make a wound here, then apply some rooting hormone, and I hope more roots will come out from here, you know, therefore getting a better surface roots. This is what's lacking in this plant. I mean, you see there's a very big bulky trunk, really fat base, but nothing. It would be much better if you had some kind of surface root coming out. But again, that would take many years. You know, bonsai is all about patience, so just you know, I'm doing just everything to increase the chance for this plant to root and to survive. Okay, I'll just cover more of the root base. Also, this plant, it doesn't have roots. It's basically a giant plant cutting. It doesn't have roots to remain stable. So to tie it, I'm using this bungee cord. I just like using it because I feel it's more flexible. You know, just to secure in the pot so that it won't get, you know, toppled, or you know, it won't fall down. So okay, this is I'm done with the potting. Now I'm just gonna trim some of the top things off. Not sure how to style this plant yet. Just want to make sure it survives. But I see a very interesting angle here. It's a 90-degree angle. It looks kind of weird. It is interesting though. So I might keep this and develop this in the future. This one probably remove in the future. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, it needs a little trimming. So I'm going to trim the top off and make it shorter. You don't want to leave too many greenery, because there's not much root in this plant, so you probably won't have the strength to supply all the water if you leave too much greenery. But still, you need to leave some so that there's some kind of photosynthesis going on, and you can produce some food for the plant to recover. Okay, this is it. This is the giant cutting of the Rose Sharon. I know the black wound dressings are a little bit ugly, but you know, that's okay. It will fade away in a few years. Okay, this is an update roughly after 2 months that I did this project. Plant finally seems to be responding, and I'm happy to show you that. Of course, initially for quite a while, for a long period of time, plant looks like it was dying. The leaves were turning yellow, it was wilted. But I kept taking care of it. I've watered every day, keep it in the shade. very patiently. The reason being, I know this plant is very strong. I know it's very, in general, most healthy plants are very resilient. They have very strong surviving skills. So I didn't give up. I know many of you might have given up. If after a month you don't see any change, but I didn't give up. Another reason is because if the plant would have died, the leaves will be completely dry instead of just wilted. So I know the plant is still alive. So I kept watering it daily, and finally 2 months later I'm seeing some new growth. So whenever you see a new growth, then it's a good indication that the plant is making it, is working on it. But still, you shouldn't be too you still need to be careful. Don't be too careless. So this plant, well, my next step is, now that I know it's doing is surviving, I'm gonna remove this wilted leaves, the bad leaves, and so you can concentrate all the energy on the new leaves. I probably won't trim it. This is the first growing season. I just let it grow wild and do some it's time to add some fertilizer now. It's been 2 months after all. Looking back on the plant, I feel that I have 2 months of looking at it. I feel that this branch is probably not what I wanted. I probably left too much of this long branch here. I should have cut it down more. So I would consider doing that in the next year's styling session. I'll probably just leave this whole trunk and develop this one into the main trunk, and this one somehow get rid of this side. So anyway, that's my idea. Thank you. I'll post an update of this Rose of Sharon next year.